You are listening to INDY, INTUNE.
Enough to see, feeling like I need a little room to breathe. I wear a smile that I like to share. Love to show you when I get there. And I see my roots run through everything. I respond when nature sings. The shade brim covers up my hair, the shadow from my stare. Get it moving in the early dawn. A peaceful life I'ma never know. As long as I was my kind of home. I'm gaining ground nearly all the time. Never pay attention to that one-way sign. Remember all the parts I played and every promise to the place I made. There's a storm behind, shelter ahead. Half a dozen things wish I said, and the wind is blowing with another change. Hope I don't get stuck in yesterday. share. I love to show you when I get there. And time winds down, but the fire glows on. Gotta get it moving in the early dawn. But I might never know. It's all out of my kind of hole. Here's the moment you never planned. Rise to the sunset. With the sand, shit, with the sand.
That was In the Moment by tonight's guest, Mr. Cootie Crabtree. This is Darren INDY INTUNE podcast show number 65. We are live on the South Side with members, well, associates of Cootie Crabtree. We got actually members of three different bands sitting at this table right now, and we'll be getting into all that. But we're joined by Mr. Cootie Crabtree. Say hello so they know your voice, sir.
Hello.
We also have Mr. Andrew Funky.
Howdy.
From Crabtree's Trunk.
Right.
The bass player. With a name like Funky, it's got to be bass.
Let me say, the Crabtree's Trunk thing, to start right there. That's almost obsolete. We don't even really use that anymore.
Okay.
I know people are still printing it and everything. That's kind of been put by the wayside. So
just the Cootie Crabtree experience?
Yeah, featuring the Rhinestone.
Oh, the Rhinestone, that's right.
Yeah,
the Rhinestone.
well, we've been doing Coot and the Rhinestones lately.
Coot, Cootie, back to that.
And our third member over here in the corner, Mr. Jason Payton.
Payton brother.
From the Payton Brothers.
Yep.
And guitarist, songwriter.
Guitar,
okay.
yes.
And you played,
Everything.
you actually played on the CD we'll be talking about, Monon Drift.
Mhm.
So, all right.
Correct.
So try to get the scorecard set up for who's what here. But Mr. Crabtree,
Yes, sir.
let's start off. How did you get into music and your history, please?
Okay, as a child, I was given several guitars as gifts. It never really stuck. They ended up being more toys than anything. I think my parents actually looked into lessons for me at one point, and the excuse the instructor gave was that my fingers weren't developed enough at the time. So, I don't know. Take that as you will. I wish I would have started back then.
I'd say you got some pretty long-ass things going now.
Hey,
so.
I don't know. But
You have a club hand as a child?
yeah, my flipper. Like I said, they ended up being more decorative and toys. The guitars I have actually still have a couple of those. But after high school, I went to Vincennes in fall of '94, and as for credits, I took a couple guitar classes, and that's when I actually really started getting back into it. Playing on my own until about 99, 2000, I moved up to Indianapolis and got a job with a friend of mine, John Jett, who's in the local music scene, sound man, bass player. But there,
Locals only sound man, right?
yeah,
Mostly?
he works at locals only, and
Okay.
he's in the union too. He does sound and lights for Conseco Fieldhouse,
Oh, okay.
major stuff.
Most of us know him from locals.
Yeah, he's the house sound man. But at the job I got with him, it was at Marquis Audio Visual, AV company on the south side. I met a guy named Jethro Easyfields.
Who was just on the show not too long ago.
Yeah, good friend of mine, collaborator, and he pretty much, I started going out to see him playing open mics and some of his gigs, and he pretty much talked me into getting up there and doing my own sets at the open mics and whatnot. So he really opened the gate for me, introduced me to the Indianapolis music scene.
I say, and that led in because you played on his latest album, Elixir. You were the background vocalist.
Yeah, I am vocalist on 3 or 4 tracks.
So songwriting.
Yes,
when
sir.
did that actually come in?
Probably around the same time, maybe 01, 02, I would start. A good friend of mine, Johnny Ping, we call him Johnny Good Times or Johnny Ping. He came along with me around the same time as far as playing music, actually playing out in front of people. I would write, I guess they started out as poems or even maybe just with the possibility of being lyrics, and kind of took a couple things to him just because he's also into literature and writing and music and all that, and he surprised me by putting a couple of my pieces to music, and there you go, a couple songs are born from that. And
so his music in your songs.
My lyrics, his music.
Okay.
And then vice versa, different versions of that. And like, I wrote a couple in Bloomington. I was laid up with a broken ankle right around this time. And, no better time to beat on a guitar than laid up with a broken ankle. That's actually when the beard sprouted, too. I was too lazy to get up off the couch, so I let the beard grow and haven't shaved it since. But anyways, a couple songs fell in my lap at that time. A couple of the songs, actually The Golden Rush is from around that era. But Shady Lady, a song off of the Monon Drift, is right from that time. That's one of the very first songs I ever wrote, music and lyric-wise. I don't know, songwriting process, it varies for me. Since I've recorded this last album, I found myself being a lot more inspired. I've been writing a lot more than I ever have, really. I love collaborating with, fortunate to have some very talented friends who do the same thing. That's why I love collaborating with them. I can come up with lyrics, and people can help me with melodies and, solid music to put behind my lyrics.
So the first song we heard, In the Moment, can we talk a little bit about that in retrospect?
Actually, that song was written entirely by Johnny Ping.
Okay.
My good buddy. We perform it live. It's one of our standards on our set list for Cootie and the Rhinestones. Almost, we try to walk the Americana / alt country line, but that song in particular could almost be a little bit more towards the jam band end of the spectrum. And we treat it like that. That's fine with us. We don't want to be pigeonholed. I mean, we're all over the board as far as genre. I think it's a great song Johnny wrote.
So I noticed you switch back and forth between electric and acoustic songs. In fact, was it Catch My Drift actually was used? Was that banjo, mandolin, or?
That is banjo.
Okay.
On Catch My Drift. Scott Kern, a friend of mine who actually used to be in the band.
Another guy I got to get on this show because he's mentioned.
Yeah, he's
by
all over the place.
Singer-songwriter.
Yeah, he's all over the place. Yeah.
And he actually produced part of your album as well.
Yes, sir.
In addition to producing Jethro Reesefield's album.
Yes, sir. And Simeon Pillar, and I think he's got a couple others on the burner right now as we speak.
Busy guy.
Mm-hmm.
So let's play another track.
How about Old Song? First track off of the new album, The Monon Drift. Recorded with my good friends, the Payton Brothers, down in Bloomington, Indiana.
Hi, Payton Brothers.
Hello.
Why don't you set this one up?
Oh, yeah, the old song. Well, this was, we started some sessions down at the Payton place down where we live in Bloomington. Cootie came with some songs. We really just pretty simply started jamming this one. Cootie said he liked the little lick that was going on. We ran with it. First take, second take, maybe.
Yeah, I think this was pretty natural for us, and it's probably, in my opinion, one of the strongest on the disc.
I think so.
Actually, this is another one Johnny wrote for me in mind. He's written several for me to sing. He thinks these songs are suitable for me, but I think this one he said when he first wrote it, he told me about it. It was written in the key of Townes Van Zandt, who is one of my heroes.
Days when you're lost in the crowd, hassled about, shuffled around. You train your sights on what you want to see, and you're loving your life because you're living your dream. Gone are the days where the line in the sand cannot be erased by the wave of your hand. That you made for your new masterpiece is hardened with time. It shows to leave. I don't wanna grow old singing the same old song. I don't wanna grow old wondering if I was wrong. How it goes. light. The chemical curtain always stealing your sight. You've lived enough to where you can't help but see the choices you make become your destiny. Gone are the days when you spend all your time searching around for that next little line. The path that you seek is paved with golden seams, and you go straight ahead like you know what it means. I don't wanna grow old singing the same old song. I don't wanna grow old wondering if I was wrong. I don't wanna grow old, just how it goes. Days when you're lost in the crowd, hassled about, shuffle around. You've lived enough to where you can't help but see the choices you make become your destiny. Gone are the days when you can't see the light. Chemical curtain always stealing your sight, and you train your sights on what you want to see. Love in your life because you're living your dream. Love in your life when you're living your dream.
Listening to your music, I'd remarked most of them were kind of introspective, downbeat, sad songs, and
always been a sucker for the sad songs.
You know, for a guy that has a reputation as being just the cool, upbeat, lovable guy, I just wanted to kind of pat you on the back and say, "What's wrong? Is everything
of a clown,
okay?"
buddy.
Okay.
Tears of a clown.
So you just like singing those kinds of songs, or is that just what
they move
your voice meets it? Or
I guess so. I don't know. It's something I don't know. Primal. Just the sad songs is all I know.
Just like Elton John.
Hard times all around.
Hard times, children crying, ain't got no shoes.
So is there a difference when you're playing with, your regular band, or you're playing with the Payton Brothers? I mean, do you stylistically sing differently, play differently?
Yeah, totally. Like, what I have with the band is one thing, it's all its own, but then, like, I could do a solo show or put together a duo or a trio of songs my band might not have ever even heard, played with me, or even had any experience with whatsoever. Could be more rootsy things. I have songs I've written that not even taken to the band yet, for whatever reason. Not that they're not capable, it's just how it works out. I like to keep it separated like that.
So you have songs you write specifically for one lineup or another?
When I'm writing things, I don't have that in mind. I don't know. With the band, we have limited time. As much as we'd like to explore other things, we have certain songs that we could do blindfolded in our sleep. And then we don't have a whole lot of time with everybody's careers and schedules and families and all that, too. It's something we're working on. But to delve into a lot of things that we're all collectively writing.
In fact, well, let's talk a little bit about, because we wanted to kind of talk a bit about the Payton Brothers. You want to introduce that band for people that might not be familiar, though I think you're actually probably better well-known than Fort Cootie over here, for that matter.
Well, that's open to debate, but we've been at it for a while. The song we're about to hear is called "Oh Well" from the forthcoming EP 7-song release we've just finished, where we recorded this song with a good buddy of ours down in Bloomington by the name of Mark Galloop with Real Recording, and he's got some really cool equipment and really fun to work with different personalities, see what you get, different styles of hearing the same song is always pretty exciting to me.
Cool. So you guys do a lot of collaboration with other artists, or is Cootie just kind of an exception?
No, we do. Yeah, we do. Cootie comes in and out. We call it a family. There's a extended family. There's the Payton brothers, the band. It's probably technically just my brother and I, but there's like Cootie, and we have.
Yeah, they adopted me as a cousin.
He's cousin Coot.
Cousin Cootie.
Yeah, we have 4 or 5 different players that we can cob together a band per gig as needed.
You guys play. You're from Bloomington. You play up here a lot.
We don't really play Indianapolis.
Wherever we'll have them.
Yeah.
You'll take the gig.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So is that I'm gathering that's kind of a common trend in the, I don't want to call you guys folk, but the singer-songwriter Americana. I mean, there's that whole school of Shelby Kelly, Cliff Snyder, you, Jethro, Easy Fields. I mean, you guys all, I've seen you all playing on each other's material. You all seem to know each other. And personality-wise, you're all very similar. I mean, that doesn't happen in rock bands and metal bands or anything like that. I mean, is that just a factor of the style of music?
I guess so. I mean, the network is, it can be confusing. It's almost kind of,
Incestuous.
Weird, the coincidences. Yeah, incestuous even. Like, you know, I know this, and this, and I do this, you know, or connected to Jethro, however, you know, and it's kind of amazing, really. I mean, if you try to, like, map out our network on paper, it'd probably be pretty extraordinary. I mean, as far as just the interconnections.
It keeps everybody busy, if nothing else.
The family tree.
You know, I view it as a real strength. It's actually a pretty cool thing to you know, because I kind of came in my own angle, different from what these guys have done, and to see it kind of reminds me of what you read about, like what goes on in Austin, Texas, or any other good scene, maybe on a smaller scale here, but everybody knows each other and they all help each other out, and you kind of mash everything together and see what happens, and it ends up being really cool. That everybody knows everybody else and they all play together. It's fun.
So the blues scene and the jazz scene kind of have that. I mean, the rock scene, the cover band scene, I haven't seen it a lot in the country scene at all. It's very cutthroat. You actually have rival bands in the rock and country scene.
That does not happen with us.
Yeah, you don't have any. There are no enemy folk bands.
That is not what it's about.
Yeah. We don't have evil folk.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really cool. Set us up another song.
One of my favorite songwriters in the whole world, his name is Owen Neighbors. He's been a very big inspiration to me, and I like to call him my guru. This guy has stacks of songs, unreleased, very prolific songwriter, heavy influences, Bob Dylan, Chuck Berry. This is a song he wrote. It's called Might As Well Be a Train. I recorded it with the Payton brothers in Bloomington. A friend of ours, I believe Andy Aronis, one of their buddies, getting back to the network of things, came in and sat in on piano. And written by Owen Neighbors, he let me record it, steal it, fair and square. It's called Might As Well Be a Train.
Some empty train comes rolling through this town. Why does it seem so long in between the last time that I heard that sound?
the new project, Monon Drift. Where was this recorded?
This was recorded on Monon Street in Bloomington, Indiana, USA. The Payton brothers have a nice little setup down there on Monon Street. Yeah, they're private studios, Payton-made studios.
The compound.
Good stuff, very talented guys.
Now, you list a couple different musicians and a couple different producers on this.
Yes. The bulk of it was recorded by the Payton brothers in Bloomington. There are a couple tracks recorded by my good friend Scott Kern at his little home studio on the south side of Indianapolis. We call it Fair Hope Studio.
Was there a reason you just needed more songs, or?
The main thing there was like distance-wise. It's obviously easier for me to get up to Scotty's than it was down to Bloomington. And I just had a couple things like on the back burner at Scotty's anyways before I even started working with the Payton brothers. And didn't want to burn up all of the Payton brothers' time and had these things going with Scotty anyway, so just finished them up and tried to meld them together as well as could be.
Now, you
done.
had a live album out last year. You took a couple of your shows and released some of the best tracks on the live album.
Yeah.
And some of those made it onto this CD as well?
No.
Or they're all different songs?
No. What's on the Monon Drift is all... The Rhinestones are not involved with the Monon Drift, except for the song Lord Have Mercy on Us All is written by one of the Rhinestones, Mr. Diamond Joe Hodgson.
Sir not appearing in this interview.
Yeah. The live CD, I don't know. It's more of a live demo we were trying to get out to circulate to bars, basically, as an example of our work. It was recorded actually at like our first gig ever with the Rhinestones, me and the Rhinestones at Spencer Stadium Tavern. And then a few tracks are off of a gig we did down in Bloomington at the Cinemat. And we just compiled, and they're actually really good recordings. Scotty recorded them live, and they sound really well. So that's why I chose those particular tracks for the demo. But it's almost 2 years old now, and obviously things have tightened up and even grown quite a bit since then.
Hard to believe it's been that long.
Yeah.
But things are better than ever. Not to sound cliche, but...
Following on that, though, you'd mentioned, like, the first song we'd heard in the moment being something of a jam band. Do you do a lot of improvisational playing, or...
That's something I like to do. Jerry Garcia has been a profound influence on me.
You're wearing
musically.
the dead hat, which is very nice.
I miss that guy. But the Rhinestones, working with them, they are, they're hired guns, and they're pretty professional about what they do. With me, I think they're even a little more lax than they would be with other songwriters they work with. But they like to keep things pretty tight. They don't like to do a whole lot of improv things, or even if it may seem improv to the crowd, it's been
practiced.
Yeah, it's been practiced
and
and rehearsed and talked about with the Rhinestones.
So, Andrew, do you want to plug the Rhinestones versus, other acts you're working with, or any other projects you guys are working on?
The Rhinestones is it's me on bass guitar, and then Tim Plunkett on drums, and Joe Hodgson, Diamond Joe Hodgson, on guitars. I won't just say he's just a guitarist. He'll also bust out a mandolin. He's got a pedal steel, which is magical.
And been missing.
And we've been missing because he bought it, and now he's learning how to play it.
And now has a newborn child.
Yeah,
and so
he's got a lot of competing things going on. But we put ourselves together about 2 years ago, something like that, intentionally as a backing band. Not necessarily karaoke time. It was something where we were going to meet. Cootie's a perfect example. We put an ad out, and he responded to it, and we were looking to work with singer-songwriters that wanted a band, and it wasn't, if they had songs that they could just bring to us and say, here, play this, that's great. But we also enjoy the creative process and working, and we have songs of our own, and we just, again, you kind of mash it together and see what happens.
Which is great, because a lot of, as much as I love singer-songwriters, I love to hear guys like Cliff Snyder and you and Shelby Kelly. One guy with an acoustic guitar playing for an hour, well, great. And it's nice to have a band you can just plug in for some songs just to kind of change it up a little.
And that's what we've been trying to do. There's songs that Coot will play solo acoustic if he's doing a show like that then we also play as a band. But then, like he said, there are other songs that we probably have never heard that are just his. So it's great. It gives you a huge amount of variety. And actually, Cootie, I think you were one of our first clients, and really the way things have kind of narrowed down over time, he's really the primary person we play with these days. and it's great. In terms of the shows that we play and the people that we play with, the music we play with Coot is the loudest, the most. The most, I guess, rockinest. To use a term, I mean, it's the most. I have the most fun on stage playing with Coot, because we put on just a hell of a show. So it's good.
And if someone wanted to get in touch with you, maybe to get you for a backing band on a gig, how would they get a hold of you guys?
You can contact us through www.therhinestones.net. That's our website, or certainly you can approach us at any gig or anything like that.
Or get a hold of me, and I'll
get in touch.
Okay.
It's not an exclusive thing, like I said. It depends on the amount of time we have, and sometimes there are people we've played with. We've gotten no further than a couple of rehearsals and realized collectively it wasn't going to work out. Geeks, you know how those things go. It's a matter of chemistry and is the music going in the right direction. So, but yeah, if you want to get in touch with us, feel free.
And right here, I'd like to interject, and if we have room, maybe we can fit it in here.
Okay.
Off of our MySpace page, there's a track, a Rhinestone standard. It's called Blue Ribbon. It was written by Funky here and Diamond Joe.
It's a live
and Tim
version of that
Plunkett.
on your MySpace
Yeah, it's a
page,
great
yeah.
song. It's a standard in our set list, and I'd like to put it on this podcast.
Hold up your lighter. You know, when you
It's one of our greatest songs, I believe.
Thanks, man.
Hang on, let me get that. I'll drop it in right here.
Is this thing on? Check. Hot mic. Are we ready? Gentlemen? Give it out. Let's go. Friends tell me I'm the best they know, but that don't help much when you're sleeping alone. I know they mean well, and I pray they're right. The love comes knocking one of these nights, 'cause hours wasted in honky-tonk. I have my freedom, and that's alright. But just once more, I want to give love a try, 'cause it's love river hanging around my in hand, they throw it away, and I can't understand. I
I know she's out there. I believed in my soul. I'm gonna love her forever and never let her go.
Kind of touch on while we're sitting around waiting for everybody to get here and get all set up for the interview. I noticed, Cootie, you whip out your sketchbook and you go to town on this, and you've done some of your logo work. You did some of the work on, like, Shelby Kelly actually did the cover, but you did like the back art and everything on your CD.
Correct.
But that is a common thread with you, Jethro Easyfield, Shelby Kelly. You're all artists on the side of being singer-songwriters as well. How did you get started in the art, and what are you doing with it?
Something I've always done. I don't know. It's like a security blanket almost. I've always enjoyed drawing. I know Jethro is very into painting, and that's something I've not grasped yet. I mean, I like to get more into that, but drawing, I don't know. It's just something I do. Doodling, turning into actual art pieces. Back in August, I had the Monon Drift CD release party was in August at Locals Only. And as you know, Locals Only, which I love, great club. It's our home base,
like
we like to
room,
say. Yeah.
A lot of people's home base is
Yeah.
a great club.
Dave and Michelle are great people. They help out as much as possible. Kevin Phillips, the bartender / musician. Every month, they, instead of having cheesy barroom art hanging on their walls, they have
to this place. So
they have a local artist come in every month and display their work, which I think is great. And I was Artist of the Month in August, which just happened to, coincide, sync up with our CD release party. I don't know. A lot of my stuff is just ink, basically. Drawing and ink. I don't know. I get on kicks. I'll draw a certain way or a certain style for a month or two and produce several pieces, but then I might put it down for 3 or 4 months and not do anything at all. And then get re-inspired, kind of like with my music, basically.
So you're not doing it as a side living or anything the way
I wish I could.
Are.
I mean, it's for sale. If you see anything you like.
You're working on a commission piece
Shoot me an offer.
Locals with the Angry Penguin, as it looked like. So,
yeah.
I mean, you will do commission pieces, I
Sure.
assume.
I gotta buy some diapers for my boy.
Let's get into future projects. Anything in the works now? You still probably have songs floating around, I'm sure.
Yes, actually, the Monon Drift, it was my first actual, really professional attempt at a CD, top to bottom, manufactured, wrapped in cellophane, a real deal CD. It inspired me quite a bit, the whole process. I love the creative process of it, the actual going into the studio, and then these days, obviously, the technology you have at your fingertips is just amazing. And it's like with my drawings, you can do anything you want. If you can think it, you can make it happen. And so that definitely the album has inspired me to do quite a bit. That's like I mentioned as far as songwriting, and actually just went into the studio a couple weeks ago to begin work on the next album. Recording this one with a friend of mine, Dick Gist, at Trinity Hill Studios in Bloomington, Indiana. Yeah, like as Jason mentioned, it's great. The Payton Brothers did a fantastic job on the Monon Drift, and I hope to have them sit in on this new album. But I wanted to move on to a different producer, fresh ears, different ideas, different environment, just to see, see what happens with this guy.
Which is interesting. A lot of singer-songwriters are very specific about what they're looking for and what they want. You're actually bringing new people in to kind of see someone else's contribution on your own work
Exactly.
and see where it could be twisted and turned,
Exactly.
I guess.
And going along with that, I'm so fortunate to have an arsenal of talented friends who are musicians, several different instruments, and I love it's like having the toolbar on your internet screen. You know, I can pick, I want to get my buddy Jason Whitler to come up and play Telecaster with his B-bender on this track, or Jason Payton to come in and play banjo on this track, you know. I've got all these artists to choose from and just build up these songs however I seem fit to build them. It's great.
Oh, also on the area of stretching out, you were actually, and I'm surprised more bands don't do this, but you were the first band I knew of that had your own podcast very briefly. You had a Crabtree's Trunk podcast that went...
That goes back to
5 episodes, 6 episodes or something? It's harder than you'd think,
Scotty
isn't it?
Kern, yeah. Scott Kern, he was with us for the beginning, the genesis of the band. He is no longer with us. But he was on that end of things. It was great to have Scotty. I mean, he's a great guitarist, but he was the, no offense, Scotty, but like the tech nerd.
Right.
The wizard. He had all the toys.
We don't mind that. No,
right,
that's
yeah.
fine.
He's great at it. But he had all the toys, and it was all his idea. We would phone in and do podcasts. And it's a lot of work, as I'm sure you know.
Well, because you guys were all gigging elsewhere. Like a couple I listened to, you were in one city and you guys were out of town. And
It's like a conference call.
Yeah.
Pretty cool the way it worked.
It's amazing. He did a lot. He helped us out a lot. And he's a very talented guy. And he broke up the Crabtree's Trunk podcast.
now let's plug some gigs. Is there anything else we wanted to cover before we kind of wind down?
We've got some upcoming shows. If you'd like to come out and see us live in the flesh.
So, and then on that vein, you're back at Locals Only December 4th.
I think that's it's looking like that's going to be our last local show of the year. Winding it down, 2009, December 4th at Locals Only. Myself with the Rhinestones and a friend of ours from Bloomington, Leon Chance, is going to be there on the bill, with or without his band, the Long Shots. That hasn't been decided, but there's also going to be a couple other acts on the bill as well. We're going to make a big end of the year hoo-ah.
Well, you're just kicking into the Christmas season and
Americana
everything.
showcase. Yeah. So everybody goodbye for the year and come back and see us again next year.
2010, big year for the local Americana scene, you think?
Giddy up.
All right. December 19th, Spencer Stadium Tavern downtown.
That is, that's actually one I booked. Me and Jethro were in there.
The Jethro
one day.
home base there.
Yeah.
One of those.
And, Dustin, the manager / booker there, he gave us that day. I'm not sure what's going to happen there. It'll be good. Kind of holiday show. Me and Jethro and friends. It's going to be a little variety show.
Is there a game in town that weekend or anything? Or?
I have no idea.
Okay. Finally, December 28th, you're that lull between Christmas and New Year's. You got a great gig at the Players Pub in Bloomington. Is that the Monday night gig, or I don't know?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's the Songwriters in the Round. Actually, about a month or two ago, I went down to see my good buddy Jason Payton here. He sat in on one of the In the Round showcases. And
those are always fun. I love In the Round.
I haven't done one in
shows.
3 or 4 years, so Jason was in on it, and he introduced me to the lady who's in charge of it, and she asked me to come down and sit in on it on December 28th. So cool. I'll be in B-Town playing original songs that I've written in the round.
It's not really in the round, though, is it? It's kind of in a row.
In a line, yeah.
Yeah, you're in the line, but that doesn't flow the way In the Round. Jason, anything to add to the Players Pub gig? You're kind of a regular down there, I assume?
It's a good, it's right by my house. It's a really good crowd. It's a listening audience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's
Cool
where a lot of the songwriters go work out some of their own ideas before they would take it to a band, and that's a really valuable.
That's kind of the Locals only
show.
of Bloomington, right?
Yeah, I would say.
There's not a lot of cover bands, and it's one you go because you really like the music, not because you're going to pick up girls or
it's a
something
listening
like that.
crowd for sure.
I know Jen Christie, friend of the show, has been on several times, plays there a lot. That's one of her favorite places to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have any upcoming shows, JP?
Yeah, so everybody else plug your dates while we're here.
I wish I'll
make sure they get on the INTUNE calendar.
Check out the website. Give them the website.
Here's MySpace is the most updated one right now. It's MySpace / Payton Brothers.
Okay. Links to this in the show notes. INTUNE.com.
Yeah, and you can link from my site to their site or the Rhinestone site.
Yeah.
Everybody be friends with them on MySpace. And you're on Facebook now, right, Cootie?
I am. Underneath
Because we're friends, because you always post right on my wall whenever you want to speak to me. So it's like everyone reads the conversations
I could be
have with
found
Cody.
on Facebook underneath my alias Scott Crabtree,
Who's that?
Ooh.
whoever that may be. And we've been kicking around the idea of a New Year's Eve show with Cootie and the Rhinestones, and actually, it's in the works. But Dustin at Spencer Stadium Tavern has said he might have some room for us. So just pay attention to the websites if you're interested. I know a lot of people already have pre-made plans for New Year's and all, but we may be playing on New Year's Eve, so just stay tuned to find out.
Very good. All right, so we got all the dates. Everybody got a website plug in. Anybody want to plug anything else while we're in the wind down phase here?
I just want to stress, I mean, if you want to, we put on a hell of a live show. So if you really want to come out and have some fun, come on out and see us play. You'll get a good variety of stuff, whether it range from kind of alt country or singer-songwriter up to some of our songs border on punk, I think, up to jam band stuff. It's kind of hard to pigeonhole us, but it's fun all the way around.
And there are samples on YouTube of some of your live stuff.
Scotty
right?
Kern,
There are, yeah.
back to
Thanks
him,
to Scotty, yeah.
posted video. By all means, www.crabtreemusic.com. Currently, it'll just shoot you over to the MySpace page, but that's all changing in the next month or two. And links will be available there to INDY INTUNE, Peyton Brothers, Rhinestones, and all my other songwriting friends and venues. So drop
Would be
by,
the
say
central
hi.
hub for good local live music.
Amen.
All right, anything else we want to talk about? Anything we missed?
We did it. Thank you, Darren, for having us.
Yeah, appreciate it.
My pleasure, guys. Thank you for being on the INDY INTUNE podcast. Real quick, let me run through the outro babble. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you're a fan of Cootie Crabtree and this is your very first time listening, welcome. Check out our website, INDYINTUNE.com. You can also subscribe via iTunes, audio, blog lines. Instructions are on the website on how to do that, so you get all the shows when they come out. If you want to be on the show, INDYINTUNE.com/booking. Fill out the booking request form. Pretty much all you have to do is just be from Indy or coming to Indy and have about 15 minutes of your own music that we can play. It's painless, isn't it, Cootie? You guys do? Ooh.
Yeah, edit that.
We'll edit that.
Mental soap.
leave it,
Mental
yeah.
soap.
Oh, also on the website, the calendar of where Cootie, the Rhinestones, the Peyton Brothers, and many other local bands are playing. That's INDYINTUNE.com/calendar. There's a message board, a chat room, and all that stuff that no one ever pays any attention to. Links to purchase all of the great music. Where can they purchase the Monon Drift, by the way? Currently out of press, but soon to be.
Get a hold of me.
Second pressing.
I'm looking to get it up on CD Baby or one of those related websites. I need to do that. Things are so hectic and busy just with life in general. But if you would like to have a copy, I'd love you to have a copy. Get a hold of me through the website, or you can email me at crabtreemail@yahoo.com.
Also, check out IndiePodcasters.com, which is sort of our network. We meet once a month with all the local Indiana podcasters, and we do have the once-a-month INDY INTUNE co-sponsored Musicians Night Out, usually towards the end of the month. INDYINTUNE.com/social if you want to come out and have some beer and meet other local musicians, because we're trying to do for the entire scene what you guys have really done for your particular branch of the musical family tree. Not to plug that website, which is a great website, by the way.
I'm on there, too.
Yeah, Musical Family Tree.
Yeah,
We'll have that
Cootie
link in
Crabtree.
there. But yeah, gotta love Musical Family Tree, but in general, the Indiana music scene. So that about does it from everybody behind the scenes at INDY INTUNE. This is Darren signing off. Thank you for listening.
www.